For we are thy blades, washed in blood and darkness. For we are thy wings, broken and featherless. When the crimson flood comes and the river of death flows, guard us from weakness. Burn away the fear and despair that stain our souls, for they are thine to claim. I can fight. Do not hesitate to unsheathe this blade if it is needed. The Vizier told us that we must die many times to learn the truth. We believed him. We died again and again. But it was all a lie, a delusion. We never truly passed to the other side. But here, I have known 11 deaths and resurrections, but the truth still eludes me. Death brought no answers, only more questions. Where do I begin, and where do I end? Is it really so easy to snatch a soul from the hands of the undying one and return it to its body? If death is not the beginning or the end, if it is not the thread that guides us, then what is it? For such is his will, and such is my duty. I remember. I still remember our first meeting, Domin, like it was yesterday. Every day I spent at the temple of the Undying One, every one of the Vizier's lessons, every soul I've ever ushered to the other side, every death of my body and every revival. The web of my soul was unmade. Every time I died, I lost something important, something intangible, until finally, there was only me. I am all that is left of Kibela. Now, a new web has been woven from the threads of the old. And though its pattern will never be the same, it still stores Kibela's memories. My memories. All I heard was that accursed Xenos butcher boasting about another stolen son. Was it the truth? Or was it just another lie told by the Undying One's enemies? I do not know. You. That sounds so strange, considering how many knees were made. Can you be sure you were talking to the same woman you were close to? For all you know, you left her body lying there in the Xenos' cage, where we died and rose to profane life so many times over. And now, just when I need the blood-spun web the most, my family, my pillar, is so far away. I didn't notice it at first, this cold that cloaked my shoulders and has been weighing them down ever since we came to this dark city. The cold of solitude. Everything around me feels wrong, repulsive to my nature. But you don't feel this petrifying fear, do you? Your world and the world of the Xenos aren't all that different, are they? Both are full of duplicity and masks that cover fake aspirations and a hunger for pleasure. Our bond, Domin. Our bond was a mistake. I can't pass this trial because my thoughts are distracted by pointless worries. My grief is all the bitterer for knowing the truth. Though worry for you stabs at my mind without remit, yours is occupied with thoughts of another, the one you've tied yourself to, in the same way we are bound. The very orchestrator of our capture, Vil Irliot. Your bond is but one of the reasons why we couldn't foresee the betrayal. And you would trust her with your shadow? Let her breathe the same air we do? Whatever has stretched the thread between us, we must stop it. It blurs our reason, robs our thoughts of their cold clarity, makes us lose the path through the labyrinth. The Vizier told us. The tenets of the blood-spun web give us purpose, a destiny in his service. How could I even consider? Then again, the Vizier also didn't consider a place as poisoned as this. The Dark City's shadows will hide my every trespass against the blood-spun web, and I will emerge purified, strong, untarnished. Leave me, Domin. I must traverse the labyrinth with your words in my soul.
You came back from the dark, Elentark? Unharmed. My body has already healed. The wounds of the soul will heal one day too. For suffering is a part of our life, not unlike love and fear and the desire to learn. The paths help the children of Asuryan to endure any spiritual upheaval. And you, Elentark, did not allow me to stray from mine. For this, I am grateful. And yet, neither rest nor our reconciliation can soothe the savage turmoil in my soul. Kruderak is lost, we are trapped, and the truth remains as hidden from me as ever it was. What happened to my kin? What happened to my world? And why did my dark cousin tell me less than he knew? I was meant to share your fate, Elentark, and vanish in the Dark City's rotting underbelly. But the Fleshmaster gave a different order. His twisted mind was beset by a question. Could a child of Asuryan be saved from the gaze of she who thirsts with intense re-education? By replacing the influence of my spirit stone with the heady tang of pain that nourishes the followers of the dark ways? I donned the executioner's mantle. They allowed me to keep my spirit stone in exchange for the suffering of others. I survived, prayed for Asuryan's mercy, and hoped to escape before the stone cracked under the torrent of pain and terror assaulting my soul. Before the experiment was complete. Kamora. This city grinds down the will of the strong and torments any who get tangled in its dark web. The fools are the first to die, and the shrewd perish regardless. I have never been here before, but few children of Asurion manage to escape the Dark City without surrendering a part of their soul. So what is it that you wish to know? An ancient and powerful Drukhari named Asdrubal Vecht, the supreme overlord of the Cabal of the Black Heart, who reigns over all of the Drukhari with an iron fist. My dark kin consider him to be a living god. Much like your emperor on the Golden Throne, Vecht sits upon a throne of darkness and suffering that keeps Comora's disparate clans from disintegrating. I would not want to meet him if I were you, Elantark. There are no other cities, Elantark. The Dark City has no bounds. It is a tangle of countless nightmare domains subject to a single ruler. An endless amalgamation of ever-changing and immutable dimensions. You cannot grasp its tenebrous grandeur, for even my life will not be long enough to visit all corners of the Dark City and the realms that border it. But it hardly matters where you go, for death lurks on every corner. The Dark City is pierced by millions of spires, and a webway gate may be hidden in any of them. It is the only way out of this place, and an impassable obstacle to any who do not know how to operate it. I know, and will help you should you so desire. But do I have the answers that you seek? You are asking why? How could I have trusted a monkey, Elantark? After Muaran told me that it was your kind that had attacked Cruderok. After I glimpsed a piece of Cruderok in your chambers. I saw that monkey hearts were full of hatred for me and my kin. And I saw how indifferent you were to the troubles of my kind. What else was I to do? Of the two sorrows, I chose the one that was closer to my blood. Which is why I tried to find my dark cousin on the day he attacked Argonis. I used the commotion to slip away unnoticed and wandered the streets like a shadow in search of its owner. My efforts were futile. I returned to the palace in confusion. I waited for my fresh wounds to stop aching and for the watchfulness of the surrounding monkey to fade like the mist on an autumn morning. But still, I had my doubts. Perhaps, I thought, I should discuss it openly with you. That monkey Achilles. There was something wrong about him. He kept disappearing at night, so one day I followed him. Achilles was contacting Marajai, using an artifact that transmitted his master's orders. That is how I learned that the burnt monkey was about to betray you. Which meant my only chance to discover the fate of my homeworld was about to slip through my fingers. I could not wait any longer. I killed Achilles, took the artifact, and demanded answers from Marajai. He hinted at where I could go to look for the truth. You know what happened next. You came back from the... And yet, I donned the executioner's Kimura, and there... But... You were up. Which is why I tried to find my dark cousin on the day he attacked that monkey Achilles. There was something wrong about him. He kept disappearing at night. My words will hardly console you, Elentark, but I killed the traitor. I fear the Dark Ones left too many scars on his fragile soul. Your loyal monkey broke, so I gifted him a swift death, free from the shame of betrayal. I know. Believe me, I know. Alas, my cousin fell out of favor with the Archon. But even so, I doubt Marajai would reveal the truth. At least not before his dark soul was suffused with my suffering. Nor I you. To repair the fragile shards of what was, one must plunge into the deep waters of fear. One must walk the paths of doubt and extinguish the raging fire of resentment. Are we strong enough for this? Well, you made the first step toward me, Elentark. I will reciprocate by making the second. You came back from the dark, Elentark? Not here. The words of my truth are intended only for your ears, Elentark.
For we are thy I have known 11 deaths, for such is his. The web, all I. And now, but you. Our bond, Domin. Whatever has stretched the thread between us, we must stop it. It blurs our reason, robs our thoughts of their cold, the tenets of the blood. The dark city's shadows will hide my every trespass against the blood-spun web, and I will emerge.
Let us raise our cups at Fatar, in honor of deeds accomplished and in expectation of those yet to come. This is the name given on Fenris to our pack father, a commander or captain. An Edfatter answers to a Jarl, the commander of a great company. Since you are the one who commands your crew, and I follow you at present, I am granting you the honored title of Edfatter. You, of course, are a maiden, not a father. But we have no word meeting Maiden Commander in our tongue, as all Space Wolves are men. Our traditions are steeped in centuries of blood-soaked glory. They are not yours to judge, human. You have been granted an honor, so shut your mouth and try to be worthy of it. I have had a few thoughts on that score, but don't try to pry them out of me. When the time comes, I will share them with you. Instinct bids me to remain silent. Such knowledge is not to be shared with just anyone. Only those who possess my complete trust. Not everyone is granted the right to ask such questions. But you, I shall allow it. What do you want to know about the Astartes from the glorious Fenris? Vilka Fenrica. That is our name in the old tongue of our world. We are the fiercest of the All-Father's warriors. His executioners. His retribution. Our fearless Wolf King is Leman Russ, son of the All-Father. Our world is Fenris, and our home the Fang, which rises from the world's spine into orbit. We are the thunder in the bloody storm of battle that calls to us. That is who we are! You are not wrong there! Every other word out of a Fenrisian's mouth is wolf! But there is more to our spirit than grim destruction alone. In the Hall of Heroes, we hold feasts the likes of which you will see nowhere else. To thundering laughter, we raise our horns, tell our sagas, and honor our glorious fallen. Though the body of an Astartes is built to be immune to the effects of drink, we invented a way around this taboo. The mead we brew can overcome even our blood. It makes us drunk, and makes our feasts jovial occasions. Mead. You can brew it nowhere else but on good old Fenris. No other world is home to such poisonous plants. Our fearless Fenris is home. A harsh land of harsh winters and harsh people. When comes the Hell Winter, a fearsome season of frosts, the merciless world sea freezes, and great white bears, snow wyrms, and ice trolls go on the hunt. Then the murderous frost retreats, and boats of harpooners sail out to ply their craft, capturing sea snakes and krakens. And then comes the season of fire. Volcanoes awaken, Waves wash over whole islands, and only the land of Asaheim offers salvation to those whose blood and grit win them the right to live upon it. Clan fights clan. Crows circle over battlefields, and wolf howls rise up to the sky. That is my beloved home. There is no place in the universe like it. Tell me, Edfater, what is the most fearsome foe on Fenris? You speak of the Ice Troll King, I think. I am surprised you have heard of him. But he was slain long ago by Harald Deathwolf when the monster descended upon the Tidehounds. A great saga was crafted from that hunt. One I like to sing at feasts. But no, you are wrong. The curse of the Wolfen is the most fearsome and most terrible foe on Fenris. In the heart of every brother, there lives a dark beast, bloody and forever ravenous. He hungers to kill, not for glory or duty, or his battle brothers, but solely for the sake of killing. For he who falls to that dark beast, there is no joy or thrill in slaughter. There is but dull rancor. Our gene seed is unique. Lehman Russ blessed us with the Canis Helix, a genetic gift that heightens our senses, making them sharper than those of brothers from other chapters. The Canis Helix kindles a bloodthirst in our hearts and changes our appearance to resemble the lethal wolves of Fenris. The wolves do not take orders from outsiders. We keep the old ways, not the Codex Astartes. We fight in packs, and we are trained and healed by our wise rune and wolf priests. We do not find honor in adorning ourselves in laurels, but instead etch the full names of our fallen kin as a promise of vengeance, and draw strength from that promise. We believe in the great wolves, in the deadly Blackbane and fierce Drakan the Thunderwolf, in the redoubtable Hagar the Mountain Wolf, and in the bloodied Hunter, in the wolf that stalks between stars, who follows us wherever we may go, and in the uncanny two-headed Morkai, guard of the realm of the dead. Of the great wolves, some show us their favor. Others are more malign. But each teaches us a lesson. For that, we praise and honor them. The All-Father is not a god. He is the best of all humans. Our perfect forebear. His blood flowed through the veins of Lehman Russ, and Russ's blood flows in me. Does that make me a god? My respect for him has no end, and I am ready to die for him. But what place does faith have here? Is the All-Father like the massive Iron Wolf, whose every tuft of fur forms a mountain on the surface of Fenris? Or is he as enormous as the Sun Wolf, which rises to hunt every morning and fills our world with light? The All-Father is not a god, but the highest of humanity. Ordinary humans struggle to grasp this. But we, his warriors and offspring, remember the truth. One more insolent word about Fenris and we will have ourselves a duel! Do not test my mercy further. Even unarmed, I will end your feeble life. Lacan the Ruined Wolf once shared the mysteries of the healing potions and the secrets of magic sagas. He taught them to see the past and future in thrown runes, to call down storms, and to carve powerful talismans. Ulfar Redmane. That is what my brothers call me. Do you? And there I was, about to round off my story with a short 400-verse saga about the gifts of Lacan the Ruined Wolf. Should what I told you reach other ears, shall take your tongue. Why do you think? You are very well informed. Far more than a common mortal ought to be. Yes, it is true that I have gorged on the flesh of my enemies to reap the secrets from the steaming flavor of their meat. I have slain many Xenos and feasted on their flesh. My captors have watched me do it and taken glee in it, while I have been gathering information and planning my escape. What do you want to know? What brought the Space Wolves to the Expanse? Or how I ended up in the non-human's Dark City? An Inquisitor by the name of Calcazar put out a call for aid. My Wolf Lord did not refuse him, and had 2 packs deployed to the Expanse. We never trusted this ally, but a blood debt for a service rendered in the past forced our hand. Insightful. We'd had no dealings with this Calcazar before this, and we did not trust him. 2 packs meant twice as many eyes to watch out for his games and schemes. And then... the Coronis Expanse is a wild hunting ground teeming with prey. And the Space Wolves will be the first to turn its snow scarlet. The Jarl decided to send the most indomitable hunters who hunger for honor and bloodshed. 1 pack would have fulfilled its duty for the sake of pride, but 2 would seek to outdo each other for the sake of glory. He saved our brother who had lost the pack and was unable to look after himself or the chapter's honor. Calcazar returned our brother to Fenris and kept secret the misfortune that had befallen him. The Jarl knew that the Inquisitor's actions were driven by opportunism and the desire to have us mighty warriors in his debt. But honor forced him to be hospitable to the stranger and swear an oath of friendship. The Inquisition. Pah! Rats! Scurrying around the All-Father's house and ruling it in the Master's absence. Cowards they are, The last into battle, but the first on any war council. We saw what they were worth in the months of shame. An ancient strife. If you do not know of it, then you are not supposed to know. We also decided to be cautious. His words flowed like honey, and he seemed an honorable man. But lies always look like truth, don't they? That arrogant chief thought he could give us orders. But we wolves have always followed our own instincts and hunted in our own way. I wager that boiled his blood. In warm furs, the old man does shroud his body. In cloaks of secrets woven, shrouds the sly man his plans. To know his dire purpose, swallow not the words of poison, but his gristle. We had gone on a raid for Xenos prisoners and fell into a trap. We had no war machines to support us, and some of our squad were wounded, so we were forced to retreat. I ordered my battle brothers to leave, but I remained behind to meet our guests. I do not know how many of the feeble wretches I slew, but I would have killed even more had their towering piles of bodies not hindered me in combat. They wounded me and captured me. They froze the joints in my armor. When they dragged me to their ship, two of my battle brothers descended upon the Xenos and tried to free me. An insane plan, but it almost succeeded. Almost. And so, there were 3 of us taken captive. And then there were 2. And then I was alone once again. They fell with honor. Their saga is one I will not sing to you. You have spilled no blood with them, nor shared with them meat unmilled. Their spirits might be outraged if they knew I had sung of their deeds to a stranger. These are dark days you are asking about, Ed Fatter. Let my keen-edged friend be a witness to the ferocity of my words. I was given to Tarvantius for his amusement. In the arenas of Camorra, Astartes are a rarity. And he sent me out there to kill gladiators. Living as an inglorious butcher and a Xenos' puppet, I hated it. Constantly. Every moment. I had to take care of my mind before it was twisted to the 7 hells. Every morning I made entreaties to the All-Father, and every night I appealed to Russ. I trained my body, read the litanies, and in the darkest moments, I recited my own saga. I recalled every battle, every wound, every brother. And that is how I survived. I always survive. This was a bleak saga, et fatur. Fenris Hjoda, et fatur.
Let's see, your ladyship rogue trader, Shireen, bane of my soul and savior of my flesh. Cruel fate has driven us straight into the foulest corner of the galaxy. Home sweet home to the Drukhari scum. I have it on good authority that no one leaves this place. Not alive, not dead, not even in pieces. So what do you want to hear, Shireen? A children's tale about a beautiful princess? A ballad about a queen of thieves? How about a new story, Shireen? Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lived on a sand-covered lump of rock. And the core of that rock contained untold riches for servants of the Imperium. The girl scraped out those riches with her little hands, breaking her back and coughing up her lungs, on behalf of people who had never clapped eyes upon her, and who would never know her name. She did this every day until she turned 16. And then his servants came and drafted the girl into the 19th Ifrit Regiment. Can you imagine? Of course, the regiment was wiped out on its first sortie. But the girl survived. The Exalted One protects. So what was next? Years serving in the Astra Militarum, just a shitload of hard labor, and fighting, and deals, and shady connections, and new opportunities. But everything in this world ends sooner or later, Shireen. The now not-so-little girl went and fell in with the Kasbalika. She saved up a little gold, and she even indulged in excess from time to time, until living the good life almost cost the little girl her head after her patrons got caught in an internal investigation between the Officio Prefectus and Departamento Munitorum. So the girl ran as fast as her little legs could carry her, until her eyes and the whims of fortune brought her to the expanse. A shitty story, all things considered, Shireen. Oh, really, Shireen? And there I thought you were quite ready to believe my time-honed thespian performance. The folks on Footfall are my only family, Shireen. The trickster twins and the rest of the rabble, plain-talking and loyal as dogs. And sometimes as dull as the pommel of a worn-out blade. Corporal Haydari reporting for duty, ma'am. I've had enough of the Astra Militarum shit to last a lifetime, Shireen. And my body's collected enough souvenirs from run-ins with Xenos and heretics to last 2 lifetimes. Except when it comes to the Guard, there's no such thing as used to be. That wretched life sank its claws into me good. But that also means I remember what it's like to be a small, shaking, insignificant pawn. And that's why I appreciate what I have now, all the more. What? You think it's difficult? Once me and my fellow guardsmen snuck into the upper city in search of a good watering hole, where the high and mighty of that world congregated. Another time, our regiment was sent to defend the tallest spires on a hive world. And I had an epiphany. I saw how the other half lives. And by half, I mean the ones born with a diamond spoon in their mouth, instead of an entrenching shovel rammed up their arse. My eyes were open to the truth, Shireen. The Imperium is full of opportunities, even for people like myself. The trick is knowing whose palms to grease, whose boots to lick, whose throat to squeeze, and whose arses to kick. I was very popular with everyone in the Guard Command, you see. I'd procure things for them, whatever they wanted. And so the Kasbalika took notice. You know, Shireen, I could still be bouncing around from one world to another, holed up on tired old ships with only venal grunts for company, if I hadn't decided I wanted more for my life. I accepted a shipment from the Kasbalika of certain chemicals. You know, for carnal pleasures and the like. Some bigwig was throwing a party to celebrate his 5th decade in the service. And that's when I caught the attention of the newly arrived commissar, I was rummaging through the pockets of Astra Militarum with one hand and shuffling the Kasbalican cargo with the other. You can imagine what would have happened to my head had the commissar not started with my higher-ranked patrons. It was orcs. Not everything I say is a lie, Shireen. Whoop the fu- Never mind. Once upon a time, then his servants came and took the girl into the Astra Militarum. The girl worked her little ass off until she met the Kasbalika and started living the high life in her little corner of the Imperial Guard. Ah, literacy. My blessing and my curse. I nagged every highborn who visited our barracks on their highborn business. I pored over stamps on crates in the warehouse and the seals on every door. Watched the commanders do paperwork and volunteered to help. That's how I learned, one step at a time. And then literacy became my ticket to a comfortable life. I swear on the grave of my drunkard father who sold me into the mines and on the lives of the 11 siblings I never had, Shireen. Oh, so many things, Shireen. I'm struggling to keep track of them all. I told you the truth about the Expanse, and not a single word of it was a lie. What I told you about footfall and Vladayam and how we do business in these parts, all true. Don't get me wrong, the apple of my weary eye. There are two things in this life that I dislike. Looking back at the past and having someone pry into my soul without asking. Like I had a choice, Shireen. I know better than to bite the hand that pours my amasak. Then his servants came. Like I had... Good as new, Shireen. No, honest. I can breathe and I'm not coughing up blood in people's faces anymore. You did well by me again, Shireen. Thank you. I will do my best to repay you in kind. Don't give me that look, Shireen. The plotting nobles, the scheming footfall thugs, the mysteries of Xeno artifacts, the bowing and scraping before the self-indulgent ecclesiarchy. All that's gone. Everything beyond these walls melted away like a dream. I'm fighting for my life. My soul's being torn to shreds and my body's bleeding. Is it too much to ask to want to be myself, Shireen? Oh, well, thanks, I suppose. But can I be the person I really want to be some other time, Shireen? But while we're stuck on Kamura, being a soldier just sits better with me. Can't imagine why. That's a negative, Shireen. Hatching clever plans has been the last thing on my mind recently, you see. But on the bright side, well, that Ashmag, Homunculus, may the Ajid devour that black-souled bag of bones, was busy experimenting on me, I managed to nick a couple of trinkets from his laboratory. Here, they may come in useful, if not for escaping, then at least for surviving in this rotten hole. Sir, yes, sir, your ladyship, Shireen. I'll be here, all primed and ready to go.
Rogue trader. Being reunited with the Emperor's Chosen is a balm to my soul. I have made no attempt to do so. What need do I have to know of the depravity of the enemies of humanity, when all I want is to burn it all in pure, raging flame? I already know all I need to. This place is evil. But there are servants of the Emperor here worthy of salvation. We would find a way out if we joined forces with a comrade in faith and not a repulsive monster. But now the Commissar is dead, and we are on our own. May Terra's light be with you, Rogue Trader.
Wait, you're serious? The thing is, Lord Captain, my neighbors from behind the door have come roaring back into my sick little mind. They must have missed me, because they're noisier than ever now. But I guess that's better than being a pawn in the hands of Xenos doing experiments on myself. It's harder than usual to pick out anything specific. With all these dampening gadgets around, it's like trying to hear through a wall of static. But if I try harder... The threads are very tangled. Some of them are woven together, but each one is trying to pull in its own direction. The puppets think that they have free will, but it's only because they have been ordered to think and act so. This is a skilled puppet master at work here. His dark hand is far away, but that only makes it more terrifying. Even a colorful doll that springs out like a jack-in-the-box and scampers around wherever it pleases does so by his leave. You must listen well to the strange melody and step in time with it. Its music is dismal and dangerous, but it does not echo the chorus of torment. This does not mean the dance will not be bloody, but once you learn it, you can lead the steps. Little time is left to gulp down the bloody dust. The twisted mirror with no reflection beckons you into its labyrinth and offers hope in a moment when death is inevitable. I can't make out. Damn it! It's a lost cause, Lord Captain. Looks to me like we're up to our necks in every type of shit known and unknown to humanity. Could there be a way to sneak out of the arena? I don't know, Lord Captain. Right now, I can't tell the difference between my own thoughts and the voices, let alone come up with an escape plan. But of course, it's possible the whispers will give us a nudge in the right direction.
Powers unseen uncover my path.